So today I'm going to be discussing this topic: why you are failing in business. Ask your neighbor, why are you failing in business? Yeah, why are you failing in business? It's important to answer this question. I know very many people, especially in Zimbabwe, they will blame everybody. They'll blame the government, they'll blame the environment. But in this environment, a few days ago, I was having I had a conversation with one of the HR directors in one of the companies here. And he said, then I asked him, I said, how is your company doing? He said, you know what? We are making the most money, more than we have ever made, even when there was the US dollar. Then I realized that the problem is not necessarily the environment. The problem is the environment inside your head. I know it's cruel. I know, but that's the reality. You are what you are thinking. You are how you plan. You are how you execute. You are what is going on in your mind. So when you see anybody, especially in Africa, the problem is that when we see somebody who is doing better than you, you think that they've got chikwambo. I had one Nigerian friend of mine who said, listen, if you think there's a snake that will vomit US dollar, go and get your own. Now, so we are gonna be dealing with your head tonight. We're gonna be dealing, and we want you to apply your mind to your business. Because most of us, when we start businesses, all we do is to copy. This one started a free market, so I'll also start a free market. This one is selling tomatoes, so I'll also start to selling tomatoes. This one is doing well with cakes, so I'll also start to do cakes. And the biggest reason why you are failing in your business project is because you've got no competitive advantage. You've got no what? Somebody's not talking. You've got no what? What is competitive advantage? Competitive advantage is the reason why you are in business. Why are you in business? Remember what we said about business. Business is answering or giving a solution to a particular group of people for a profit. EcoCash has made money because it gave a solution to a group of people for a profit. Number two, why do customers choose you over the next person who is already doing what you're doing? And the reason why I'm saying this is that most of us here, we have started businesses. And when we came to the market, we were worse than the people that were already there. Am I talking here? Am I talking here? So I want you to interrogate your business. And the reason why people are not coming to your business is because your business offering is not good enough. You are not good enough. Just tell your neighbor, you're not good enough, Baba. You're not good enough. What makes you unique? What makes you unique? There's somebody who wrote a book called Pink or Purple Cows. When you are traveling and you are going to your rural areas, you see a black cow, do you stop the car? When you see a black and white car, do you stop the car? When you see a brown cow, do you stop the car? But I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if you would see a yellow car moving, you would stop the car, you would take selfies, you would want to go and kiss it, you'd want to go and touch it, and are you hearing what I'm saying? So, there is something that you need to know, that until you are a yellow cow, you are a purple cow, you will not make it in business. You are too ordinary for success. Now, for you to understand what I'm talking about here, a competitive advantage has got characteristics. Has got what? You identify it by these 4 characteristics. Number 1, a competitive advantage is difficult to imitate. Your business, if somebody walks through and sees what you are doing, how easy is your business copyable? How much time do they need to copy what you are doing? How much money do they need to copy what you are doing? If it takes me 2 hours, if it takes me a day, you've got no competitive advantage, because any Tom, Dick, and Harry can do exactly what you are doing. Your competitive advantage must not just be something. A lot of people will put certain things, but the competitive advantage must be useful to the customer, must be useful to somebody who is going to give you money. The competitive advantage must be a useful characteristic to the business or to the customer. It must be so uncommon or rare. How common is your business? How common is what you are doing? How many people in Zimbabwe are doing exactly what you are doing? So if there are so many people doing what you're doing, what number are you? Number 125 or number 100,025? What number? Have you ever put yourself and said, what number am I in this market? What number am I in this country? What number are you? So why should people come to you if you are number last? What you are offering on the market, can it be replaced? Can it be substituted? Can somebody do without you? If the answer is yes, if there's something that they can do and leave you and still go on with their life, then you don't have a competitive advantage. So ladies and gentlemen, I've just cancelled 99% of the businesses in this room. In fact, the business is in this room because you copied, you never put some thought. You actually started a business that was going to fail because you never put any competitive advantage. Your business that you are currently running, what is the threat to new entrants? How can new other people just come? How easy is it for them to do what you're doing? How many cell phone companies are there? There are only 3. How easy? Can you start a cell phone company tomorrow? Yeah. So threat for new entrants is almost what? 0. Your business, how many people can start it tomorrow? What is the bargaining power of the suppliers that are supplying you whatever you are selling? Because if the suppliers can bargain, it means that they will drive up the cost. What is the bargaining power of the buyers? The buyers, you know why buyers negotiate when they come to you? Because they've got options. If you've got no option, you don't negotiate. If they can substitute, they've got no bargain. If the competition is big, then you've got no business. Listen to this. You were told that competition is good. It's not good for business, it's good for the customer. But for you as an entrepreneur, you don't want any what? Competition. In fact, you must aim for a monopoly. You must aim to be the best, the biggest. You don't want any competition. You must crush your competition. That's why the people that have made it crush competition. Because competition is not good for the businessman. It's good for the customer. You are not the customer. No competitive advantage. So how do you develop a competitive advantage? And this is where the take-home message that I want you to have tonight. How do you develop a competitive advantage for your business? So you must ask 3 questions for you to develop a competitive advantage. What can I be first in? What can I be what? What is the thing that is unique about you? Unique about your business? What is it that when I go to somebody who is offering something similar, when I look at you, it's so different? Number 3, what can I be best at? Yes, I cannot compete with everybody. Sometimes you cannot compete with big companies. Sometimes you cannot compete with established companies. But what can you be so good at that you are the best, that even the people in those big companies will say, if you want this particular thing, you go to Ningi, who is you. So when you have answered these 3 questions, that's what separates you from the rest. And what you then do is you develop your brag list. So you must then communicate your brag list to your customers, because your customers are not going to come to you because you are in business. They come to you because you are unique. You are a yellow cow or you are a purple cow. So you tell them, I'm the best, I'm the only, I'm the chakuti, I'm the what. If you cannot do that to your customers, they've got no business knocking at your door. So most of you are in what is called the red ocean. So there's what is called blue ocean and red ocean. Your business is either in two of these categories. The blue ocean is an ocean where you are the only one in the market. You are new. You provide something new in the market. You've got no competition. And this is where the money is. Most of your businesses, you start your business in the red ocean, competing with sharks. Everybody is there. You're biting each other. When you compete on price with your next neighbor, you know you're in a red ocean. I'm going to teach you another rule that I want you to know. It is called the Pareto principle. It is called the what? Because somebody is not talking. Pareto principle. It is called the what? Now, Pareto principle is also known as the 80-20 rule. It is the rule that you use in business. And it says 80% of your income comes from 20% of your activities. If you are in a shop, 80% of your money, of your income comes from 20% of the products that you are selling. So my top 20%, I focus on that top 20% because that's where the money is. You focus on the on the 80%, which gives you the 20%. There's something that I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, why your business is failing. There's what is called the mind share versus the market share. The mind share is what happens in the mind of your customers. It has been seen that if you go to a high shops, high proper shops, not your mpedza ma DG or whatever, ma Eben Groove, you will never hear Eben Groove in a shop that is selling Rolex watches. You are not focusing on how people think. Because when people buy, they buy emotionally. And then they justify it logically. Am I talking to somebody? So, if your marketing campaign, if what you are doing does not touch the emotion of your customer, you will never have the head share. So, I'm going to teach you what is called the OODA loop. So, the OODA loop is an art of war. Even the OODA loop was created by a fighter pilot. This guy was in a fighting mode, and he was surrounded by enemies, surrounded by sharks that wanted to take him out. So he said, for you to act and to think strategically when you are disadvantaged, you must use the OODA loop. So the first O stands for you must observe. So I want you to observe what is happening to your business. I want you to observe what is happening to the other people in business like your business. I want you to observe what other people who are in business like what you are doing in South Africa, in America, in UK, in Japan. You must observe. You must gather information. Number two, you must orientate. So that data that you then gather, you must make sense out of it. You must orientate yourself. Number three, you must then decide options and say, look, with all these different options, I'm not going to decide on one thing that I'm going to focus on, and I'm going to do it. You action it. So you then do the action, the A. You action, you do that, and you rethink. So what I'm asking you, what I've just taught you to do, is to rethink your business. Because most of your business, they are set up to fail.